Hey, this is Parker from Diablo Guitars. I just got back from doing 3 guitar shows in a row, which was the Bay Area, Amigos SoCal, and Orlando. Through all of that, there's a lot of crazy stories, a lot of guitars that have come and gone, a lot that still haven't been listed yet. Some of my favorite guitars that have come up in the last couple of years have actually been 1980s Gibson Flying Vs. And this all started with a guitar that I hadn't planned on buying. I didn't even know it existed. We were at a customer's house in the Bay Area buying some custom colored Marshall amps. It was a Fawn full stack with a matching 212. And in his house was a pair of Flying Vs hanging on the wall. There was a Carina factory black 1981 Flying V and a Bahama Blue Flying V. Now, I'd never seen the Bahama Blue before. I didn't know what it was worth, but something about it just got my attention and I couldn't get my mind off of it. He said it wasn't for sale. And so I kept offering more and more money until finally he said yes. My coworker, Zach, who's the one that I rely on to make the wise financial decisions for the business on a daily basis, was looking at me in shock that I just paid a lot of money for this guitar. But at the end of the day, sometimes when I feel really strongly about something, it's more about acquiring something that I just know is truly rare and I wouldn't mind if I ended up keeping it in the long run. The next day is the Amigos guitar show. I had no idea what the guitar was worth, but as soon as I opened the case, all of the other vintage guitar dealers started coming up to me and asking me how much it was. And I said I didn't know yet. They were very interested. They started kind of throwing out offers, and it was so overwhelming that I was like, you know what, I'm just going to tuck this away and do more research, because the amount of attention it's getting is letting me know that there's something that I'm missing here. That night, I uploaded a couple photos online, and then same sort of thing, immediately got a ton of attention. People started contacting me from all over the place, internationally. There's 2 people that I actually know who bought the same exact guitar when they were kids. Like, they bought it brand new when they were a little kid going into like the local music store, and that's Joe Reggio, who's one of the best guitar restorations, refinishes in the world. He does all like burst conversions, all sorts of stuff. He's amazing, and he has one. And then Brent from Solder House, who's one of the best Marshall amp repair guys in the world, also bought one brand new. Now, not to throw Brent under the bus, but he told me that he painted his black and white scorpion style. So his is no longer Bahama Blue, but he still has it. I ended up listing it. If I don't know what it's worth and I kind of want to keep it, I'll just kind of list it for like, all right, well, here's what it's worth to me, right? So I think I listed it for like 18 or 20 grand or something like that. But that wasn't high enough because somebody bought it like immediately. The guy that bought it is in Japan, and he actually has I think he published a book of his guitar collection, and it's all blue Gibsons. So it's all just nothing but blue Gibsons. The other side of that is the other Flying V that I bought, the black one, actually ended up being a refin and had previously had a Kaler and been routed. So you win some, you lose some. I still have that guitar to this day, the black one. I'd never seen that kind of unexpected attention for a guitar before. Since then, I've always kept my eye out for another one. I did come across something even more rare, which is a one-of-a-kind Heritage Flying V, which is the 58 reissue that they made in 1981. Factory finished Pelham blue. So an even more rare guitar than the Bahama Blue. And when I got it, my first thought was, man, I wish I had that Bahama Blue. That'd be such a cool pair to have together, you know, have the Bahama Blue and the Pelham Blue from the same year, both extremely rare guitars, just, you know, kind of a really cool collector's piece to have together. Whether it's something I'd keep or just kind of vicariously like have it come through my shop. Anyways, I got the Pelham Blue Flying V, and then on this last trip, I was at the Bay Area show. It was the guy that sold me the first Bahama Blue Flying V. He said, hey, my buddy has one. He's in Las Vegas. And I spoke to him, and he said he'd be willing to sell it. So I fly to Las Vegas, I buy the Flying V, I buy a few other things from him, and then I drive to the Amigos SoCal show. Bahama Blue Flying V 1981, the same exact guitar. Now this one is not in mint condition like the first one I got was, and the first one that I got was actually serial number 1. It was the first one I ever made, which is I think why the collectors wanted it so bad. We're still going to clean it up and everything, but I wanted to make this video because a good friend of ours, Tim Rose, he purchased the Heritage Flying V, the Pelham Blue, and I'm going to deliver it tomorrow. The Heritage V is going to be gone, and soon I'm sure the Bahama Blue will be gone. So I just wanted to, for whatever reason, I just wanted to make a video while I have the two blue Flying Vs that are super rare at one time. So without further ado, here is the Heritage Flying V. This is the Heritage 58 reissue Flying V from 1981. One of a kind. This is the one that Tim's getting. And then this has the 58 spec, so it has the big, thick, rounded neck profile, and it has a no binding, it has a rosewood fretboard. The body connects to the neck at the 21st fret, and it has the V-shaped anchor string through plate. And like I said, most of these were Carina. This is one of the only ones that's mahogany. Heritage series have the ink stamp for a serial number. So this is a really amazing guitar. It's an amazing shape, and I'm really happy to see it go to somebody who I know, trust, and respect. Ordinarily, I'd be sad to see it go, but the guy who's buying it, Tim, he's actually literally my first customer. I remember exactly what the guitar is. I think he still has it. It was a Michael Schenker Gibson Flying V from the 80s. So it's kind of cool that he's getting another Flying V, but it was the first online sale that I had from my website when I first got it up, 2017. So been doing business with him for a long time. He's a great guy, and he's traded me a bunch of cool stuff for this. And on a side note, we actually did a video of us going to Tim's place, I think like 3 or 4 years ago, because he has a classic car restoration company. And so we always like to stop by, see his guitar collection, see what kind of cars he's working on and that sort of thing. And so I'll link to that video in the description below. But so this is the Heritage Pelham Blue Flying V, and this is the Bahama Blue Flying V. Now you can kind of see this is a different shade of blue. Now this one is a bit worn, but you can still see the difference in the blue. It's less bright. It's more kind of tropical looking. I mean, that's the point, right? Bahama Blue. Now, a couple of interesting things about this. These are specs that when I first got the original Bahama Blue Flying V, I didn't know if they were factory or not. I didn't know if I had bought a refin by mistake, because there's some really interesting things with these. One is that the paint on the neck goes up over the binding, and then you can see the binding on top. Like you can see like the white line, but the binding paint actually goes all the way up to the edge. And then the side marker dots looks like a speck of paint, like a kid just like dropped a speck of paint in it. And so it doesn't look very like professionally done, but that's how these were made. And so it's kind of cool because it has this unique charm to it that you don't see that a whole lot. Now there's some other vintage Gibsons that have that. You have the large pickguard, which is more like the 67 style. You have the rounded headstock. There's a volute, pretty hefty volutes, one of the larger volutes I've seen. The other thing is it has the triangle knob layout. A couple of things that they did is they removed the pickup cover in the bridge, which is not a huge deal. They put different tuners on it. Serial, so it's number 121. The one that we had before was number 1, 001. I just wanted to, at one point, have the Bahama and the Pelham Blue at one time. 1981 Pelham Blue, 1981 Bahama Blue Flying Vs. Two of the rarest, coolest color Flying Vs on earth together, alas. One more kind of surprise. Another Flying V that I didn't know existed. It's this all gold Flying V. Gold front and back, and the headstock. This is a 1980, and on the back of the headstock, it has this numbered plaque that says number 42. From what I can tell from looking these up, there was 50 of them made. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of info on it. Again, same sort of thing, 67 reissue specs, large pickguard, triangle knob layout. It's very unique. So all gold. It had gold pickup covers that are actually included, so we'll get those put back on because I think it looks a lot better with the pickup covers. Big honkin' volute on the back. Luckily this one still has the factory tuners. Same sort of thing. It has the paint that goes up over the edge of the neck, over the binding, and this one doesn't have the strip like on the Bahama Blue. You can see like the white strip of binding. This one goes all the way up to the rosewood. The little side dots that are kind of just on top, almost like a speck of paint. It has T-tops. 1980 is pretty late to have T-tops, so that's kind of a cool thing. I'm not sure if the brass nut is original or not, but it looks really sharp with the gold. So this is a guitar that I unexpectedly got. It's going to be listed same time period, a lot of the same specs. So it's just really cool to have these. It's been kind of a fun thing to collect, are these rare 80s Flying Vs, because it's something that's vintage, but it's still obtainable. It's not like the original 58 Flying Vs are like 500 grand now. You can still kind of find these in cool custom colors here and there. A lot of times things that I think are super cool kind of come and go without documentation or recognition or anything. Some of the coolest stuff sells before it even gets listed. Kind of the fun of this is hunting down really rare guitars that, even though they pass through our hands and we can't keep everything, it's still fun to document them and cherish them while we have them, find them a new home. Tomorrow, the Heritage V will be gone, but there's actually some really cool stuff that Tim is trading in. It's almost like a Marty Friedman. It's a single pickup 1986 Jackson Kelly that's white with black bevels and a Kaler and a Hamer Zulu red and black Blitz bass. So normally we don't mess with basses, but it's so ridiculous that I had to have it. I'd love to see the two blue Flying Vs end up in the same home. I kind of just vicariously, like, as I would love to have those, but can't keep them all, right? So anyways, thanks for watching. You'll see some of these on our site soon, and I'll be coming back with a lot of trades from Tim tomorrow, and you'll see those on our site as well.